can come over a small meeting with their own friends. A startup idea can come over watching a movie. Nevertheless, so please encourage students with newer thoughts and newer ideas. That takes a lead. Today, world is more revolving on the online and all this apps. If you take all these startups, all have a very interesting stories, my dear friends. Put on small projects. Make it as a camp mode. You can have an ideation boot camp, or you can have a research boot camp, or you can have a design boot camp, implementation camp, or an expo camp. All these are something that will energize students to be on campus, energize students to keep on working. I don't say that, I don't differ from saying that classroom teaching is not essential. Classroom teaching along with hands-on, along with these camps, will encourage students to get on to the world so that they come out of their comfort zone, they come out of their basic thoughts and get into the greater thoughts or ideas. Each faculty needs to go an extra mile. I'm not sure whether the pandemic we had these experiences. But there are many teachers who we salute. I just try to call out somebody who has gone the extra mile. I have this teacher from a place near Bangalore in Karnataka, because I'm from Karnataka, so I thought of taking it from Karnataka. So this teacher knew that there's going to be a board exams for the 10th standard to be coming around, and March we had the breakdown, lockdown. So this particular gentleman visited all the houses of the 43 students in his class to teach them during the lockdown. And I was curious, who is this gentleman, which college or which school he works for? Trust me, he worked for a government school. Government is not going to recognize or will recognize, that's a different story. But the heart of this teacher, the soul of this teacher that talks about or tries to take about that extra mile. This is one more I just try to catch hands-on. This beautiful teacher made sure that she went to all the students' house to ensure that they are fine and probably teach them, give them probably an extra material to read during that lockdown time. Such a noble cause during the pandemic, because many a times pandemic put us low. There are a lot of new things that we learned from pandemic. A lot of new things that we understood this lockdown has brought to us. New challenges that what we looked at. The teaching totally changed. We never even talked about teaching online. Today it's almost a semester plus we talked online. We proctor exams online. That's the generation that's going to come, my dear friends. So what happens when you go that extra mile? Why should I go the extra mile? So probably this might be a question of many. So I'm a professional, I've been paid to work so many hours. I've done. Why should I go that extra mile? Thought of sharing this particular instance, a beautiful instance. This happened in the year 1994. The then president of India, Sri Shankar Dayal Sharma, had a visit to Muscat on an official trip. That's the picture that's there on your screen. Beautiful things happened, which was unusual instance that happened that day. When the flight Air India landed at Muscat, number one, the Sultan of Oman, His Highness Qaboos, who never used to go to airport to pick up anybody. He will not receive any dignitaries of any countries. But for the first time, the Sultan of Oman went to the airport to receive the President of India. This was the exception. When the flight landed, this is the beauty. Please listen. When the flight landed, there used to be a red carpet. People used to come and wave their hand up. Correct, na? Whenever the foreign dignitary comes or when. So they come down that red carpet, there'll be a line of dignitaries. A totally different thing happened. When the flight landed, the Sultan of Oman himself climbed up. He went up the air stairs and received the president from his seat inside the aircraft itself, which is unusual. First of all, the Sultanate going to the airport itself is unusual. Second, he climbed the ladder, the stairs, went up to the seat where president was seated and received him. The third was much more unusual. After both came down from the flight, they had the interaction with all the dignitaries. Just next to the flight, there was a luxurious car that was standing with a chauffeur standing. He was supposed to drive the car. But as the president, the former president, Sri Shankar Dayal Sharma, approached the car, he was led to the car. The Sultan signaled the driver to move away, and he himself drove the car with the president. All those who were present were shocked because for the first time the protocols have been breached. So later, when the reporters questioned, because nobody had the guts to question the Sultan, nobody could question except the reporters. Probably there might have been a lot of reporters from international press. So when they questioned the Sultanate of Oman, this is what he replied, my dear friends. He said, I did not go to the airport to receive Mr. Shankar Dayal Sharma because he was the president of India. He said, I studied in India. I learned so many things from India. He was a student in the college of Pune, where Mr. Sharma was his professor. So he said, when I studied, Mr. Sharma was my professor. So I went to pick up my professor. I was there as a student, not as the Sultanate of Oman. That is the pride of a teacher, my dear friends. That is where a teacher's value comes up. Many a times we feel that we have not been promoted. Many a times we feel that if there is only success that we need to get happiness. Success is not the key to happiness, my dear boys. Success is not at all. It's a process where happiness is the key to success. Do with all the zeal, do with the heart of affection that what you had. That's what I said. The heart of teaching. That itself gets you the satisfaction. I love teaching. I left an industrial profile. I was a maintenance engineer. I started my career as a maintenance engineer. Somehow I felt that I would love teaching for the last 2 decades plus. I'm happy about what I'm doing. I'm happy about what I'm doing. Of course, success comes its way. So if you love what you are doing, you'll be successful. Like this picture, I see the award winner with a grim face, and clearly seeing happiness with the guy who has won the 3rd place. Don't worry about the stool. The stool might be lower or higher. It's all that happiness that matter, my dear friends. Do that with love and affection. At the first, everybody will ask you why you are doing it. Later, they will ask you how you did it. That's all, my dear friends. Thanks for your patience listening. Had a thought process in trying to motivate how teaching has changed. I don't say it has changed. It has gone back to Gurukul. I don't say that teaching is a profession which has a time duration. Teaching is more about touching lives. Teaching is more about touching hearts. And teaching will be forward all through a 360 of that hours. With this, let me wind up. I'm happy to listen to somebody and learn from somebody out here if they would like to speak anything. I'm open for discussions now. Pratibha, I'm right? I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. I also request if someone in the forum would like to ask any question related to the topic, you are please allowed to please ask questions, and sir will definitely answer us and bless us
Answer
with
if I
his
know.
thoughtful.
No, answer if I know.
Definitely, sir.
I said I'll
Please,
have a discussion, not Q&A.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Rashmi this side.
Very good afternoon, madam.
Sir, it was very informative, and the way you related the things and the examples that you shared, that will always be clicking with everybody, every participants over there. So I would personally like to thank you for giving such an informative and such a related talk to us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. It's my pleasure, and thanks for the opportunity.
So it's a blessing to us that you were on the dais today. It's a learning process for us itself, sir. Thank you so much.
So we are highly grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with us. And I personally strongly believe that your talk would not only help us in enhancing our teaching skill, but it will definitely further motivate us not to just to be a teacher, but also to be a good influencer as well as a motivator to our students. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with such a insightful lecture, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you once again. And
Now, all of you are requested to please fill the feedback as the ma'am has shared the link in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback, and the next session of FDP will start tomorrow at 10:30. Be there. Thank you so much.
अगर खाने में
यार सर आपने मतलब मेरे कप में भर दिया, क्या बदतमीजी है ये। अरे लाओ मेरे दोनों हाथ में। मेरा भी नहीं दे दो, मैं नहीं खाती हूँ। थैंक यू। ले लेती ना।